genetics. One and only Karen Brewer is right here. Right, I think they're doing good. They keep talking to us. Please support the channel. With Amanda, Dash, Chris McGrath, John Belcher, Mr. Bird. They're all there. Let's go back here just so we can get the music going a bit in the background. But yeah, welcome to Canberra, Karen.
Awesome to finally meet all my tribe, right?
That's right.
Now, we're just going to talk about the Canberra Times for a minute.
Yeah, go for it.
Now, the Canberra Times is one of their newspapers. Yes, and guess what? It's controlled by the Freemason network of filth. So let's have a look who founded the Canberra Times, shall we? Now, that was a bloke by the name of Thomas Shakespeare, and he was one of them Labor Party politicians. Isn't that extraordinary? He was born in Penrith to engineer Tom Shakespeare and his inbred wife, Margaret Brown. He was educated in Forbes, funny enough, isn't that funny? Yes, big Freemason town, Forbes, yeah. And he became an apprentice at the age of 14. An apprentice journalist at the age of 14. Must have done quite a bit of homage and merit, I would say. Yes, indeed. In 1894, so that paper's been going for a while, hasn't it? In 1894, he founded the Canobalin Lacklander newspaper. Isn't that interesting? He founded a newspaper. Wow.
Ready to find it.
And in 1986, he married Anne Foster, with whom he had 6 children. He ran the Grafton newspaper as well. Oh, geez, he gets around, doesn't he? From 1902 to 1904, and then from 1904 to 1928, he was the secretary of the New South Wales Country Press Association. Yes, he was the secretary of the Press Association. That's how they control everything.
It all laid out for him, didn't it? It just worked perfectly.
Yeah, because the Freemason network of filth controls everything you see, hear, and read, all of it. But let's have a look at this. He became the president of the Country Press Association from 1928 to 29. And in 1925, so while he was the secretary and president, he became the Federal Capital Press of Australia Limited, the publisher of the Canberra Times. And of course, everybody else that's ever worked there or been appointed there, they're all part of the Freemason de Morlaix inbred network of filth. And of course, the Freemasons control everything you see, hear, and read, all of it. So they think. He was initially a member of the Labor Party, but he left over conscription. Yes, it turned out that Shakespeare had an issue with conscription. Right, what a load of shit. And then in 1923 to 1934, so 11 years, he sat as a New South Wales politician. Isn't that interesting? While he was running the newspaper as well. Politician and a newspaper journalist. It's handy, isn't it? That ensures only your particular brand of lies gets out. It's handy, that, isn't it? And then from 1930 until his death, he was also a member of the Australian Capital Territory Advisory Council. It's also the Advisory Council. They control everything you see, hear and read, folks, all of it. Shakespeare died in Canberra in 1938, and of course every editor that's ever been appointed to the Canberra Times ever since is naturally a Freemason de Morlaix connected individual. All of them, no exception. Isn't that interesting? From Forbes to Canberra to a politician, editor and president and secretary of the Press Association. My goodness, wasn't he well bred, eh? Betcha he had a flat head, but unfortunately there's no picture. That's a shame, because I always like to check the back of their head. Because you see, that's the inbred defect. That's the birth defect of all the Masons. They've got a flat head. Yeah, from the skull to the back of the neck here. It's flat. They don't have the curve like the rest of us do. If you look for information about that, you'll find it on my Telegram channel. Sean Ross did a fabulous documentary about the inbred genetic defect that is the flat head. Albo's got one. You know Anthony Albanese, the current Freemason Prime Minister that we have? He's got a flat head. Same flat head as Malcolm Turnbull, Tony Abbott, Julia Gillard. All of them have got the flat head. That's what number 2 of 10's all about, folks. Thou shalt not bow thyself down to them, nor serve them. The reason they want you bowing down in churches and everything They want to have a quick look at the back of your head. Are you part of their pharaonic Freemason network of filth or not? Because you see, the thing is, folks, we're all born in the image of the Creator, all of us. The Freemason chooses it. They choose this sick behaviour. They choose the incest breeding. A lot of people go on about the Freemason degrees. That's a load of shit. Okay? The Freemason degrees, it's a load of shit. These people are bred for purpose from the Pharaoh's seed of filth. That's who they are. And they choose it. You can be born in a Freemason family and not be a Mason. But the ones that become prominent, they choose it. They choose to perpetuate the sin of what it is that they do, which is inbred breeding program. That's what connects them all. So yeah, go look up that documentary on the Freemason Flathead from Sean Ross. I've posted it on my Telegram channel again today. I urge you all to watch it, because once you know it, you can see it. You can see it in every costumed thug. When they take their cap off, those ones that have got the Templars mark on their shoulder cuffs, you know that V thing? That's actually the Templars logo. That's what it is. When they take their cap off, you can see their flat heads. That's why they're so vicious, beating up old people that are standing peacefully and in trying to incite violence amongst the profane. I personally never talk to a costumed thug. Why would I want to talk to a costumed thug whom we know protects child rapists? And we know they do. We've had Royal Commission after Royal Commission. Nearly 4,000 published testimonies from my fellow countrymen who've told the stories of what's happened inside these government-run institutions, charity and religious organisations. Like Senator Heffernan told you, they are police documents. So any costumed thug that's putting on a uniform with those little Templars logos on the shoulder cuffs and sleeves, I know what you are. You are inbred filth, and I don't talk to inbred filth, not ever. Inbred seeds of filth is what they are. Senator Heffernan goes on to tell you, when the police find it necessary to put a judge under surveillance, and that surveillance is dropped because of a lack of cooperation between the New South Wales Police and the AFP, we have a problem. And right now around the world, every country has a problem. And so we stand. This is the front line at the gate of your governance. ANZAC, please stand. I didn't make the Westminster system. I didn't write the laws. But what is required is your presence. You must actually physically present to your governor and instruct them. That's how it's done. It takes 37 seconds, and it goes like this. If you're in Canberra, then you are addressing the Governor-General. Governor-General David Hurley, my name is Karen. I have lost confidence in the government. I instruct you to dissolve the federal parliament and issue the writs for a fresh election. Further, I want all the documents Senator Heffernan produced to the Royal Commission released to the people unredacted, and we will be here every day until you do as instructed. The roles of the governor is to represent the will of the people. The catch here is the people must physically present and instruct the governor. No petition will work, no letter written will work. They have every right to ignore anything on paper, but what they cannot ignore is your presence and your instruction. And every day I get up and I visualise Canberra here surrounded with hundreds of thousands of people, all standing in silence, standing together as we would on an ANZAC Day dawn service, patiently waiting our turn for our 37 seconds to instruct the governor. I visualise it in Canberra, in Sydney, in Brisbane, in Melbourne, in Tasmania, South Australia, Western Australia, and the Northern Territory. Your governor has the title of an administrator in the Northern Territory. Thousands and thousands of people standing shoulder to shoulder in silence, holding the line, waiting for their turn on the megaphone to instruct their governor. That's all it's going to take, ANZAC. We need to hear your voice. Your voice makes all the difference. Take the trick to your governor's gate. Stand there with other ANZACs. We're holding the line. We have no need for violence. We are powerful in our presence. Please come and join us. Once you've done it the first time, you get over the nerves. Once you've done it the second time, you're standing more confidently as an ANZAC. And once you've done it the third time, you are fully standing in your power. You've been programmed from the age of 5 to get into a classroom. You were told to sit down, shut up and obey authority. Your parents reinforced that with do as what the teacher says. One of the most dangerous things our parents ever did to us was to silence our voice. And I'm asking you to go against all the programming. I'm saying to you, ANZAC, your voice is powerful and your presence is deafening. It takes 37 seconds to do. And once you do it, you too are powerful. You know the power of your presence and the power of your voice, ANZAC. Come and join us and stand. Everyone here has a wealth of knowledge about lots of different areas, and I can tell you, you'll engage in very nice conversations with really fabulous average Joes. So come out of your homes and show yourself to the governor. It's so very important that you do. Anyway, I hope to see you all here. I'm here for a couple of days. So come and join us. Together we are mighty, and we will overcome. But I need to hear your voice, ANZAC. Please come and stand and instruct.